Hi, I'm Katie Seale with the State Historical Society of Missouri. Join us this week as we travel down Route 66 through the state. We're going to be stopping at different historic locations, interviewing people as we travel from St. Louis all the way through Joplin to the state line. Today, we are starting here at the Chain of Rocks Bridge, crossing the Mississippi River. It was the third river bridge to carry Route 66 from Illinois into the state of Missouri. Construction on the bridge started in 1927 and wasn't finished until 1929. One of the most unique features about the bridge is actually the rather sharp bend here in the middle of it. So this particular bend was designed from the beginning. There was concern by river barge captains on being able to navigate around all of the piers and then also the water intake towers that already existed in this part of the river. There was also concerns about the insufficient bedrock below in the river for some of those piers to actually support this type of bridge and all of the river traffic and road traffic that was going to be going through here. So here we're coming from the Illinois side back onto the Missouri side of the river. So people traveling from Chicago all the way to LA would have seen this in the 1930s up through the 1950s. You can see on this far side some of the greenery still exists of some of those pre-existing parks, some of them that actually predate the Chain of Rocks Bridge. One of the really iconic ones would have been the Chain of Rocks Amusement Park. Some people know it as the Fun Fair Park that actually lasted all the way up until the 1970s.
So Donut Driving has been here since 1953. We do everything the old-fashioned way. Everything is done by hand. This is our apple fritter.
Would you like to try donut hole?
Ooh, you want to try donut hole,
No Route 66 road trip is complete without St. Louis's favorite summer treat, Ted Drew's frozen custard.
Do you want like a sundae with the stuff on top, or do you want a concrete where it's mixed in there?
Probably the concrete. Ted Drew's is so popular that they even have their own gift shop. Isn't that right, Ted? Started in 1929, they soon expanded throughout St. Louis, including right here onto Route 66, where they're still at today. We're here at Carl's Drive-In on Manchester. It was purchased by Carl and Patricia Meyer in 1959 and then renamed in honor of Carl. And then they enclosed the dining space here in 1962, but did continue the drive-up service for a few more years. What's really interesting about the layout here is that you have two separate sides to the restaurant, and there was a very popular rivalry between Kirkwood and Webster Grove back in the day, and each of the schools had their own side of the restaurant that they sat on.
I'm David Bracy. We've been coming to Carl's probably every other day for the last 60 days after one of our good friends showed it to us. He was like, it's the best burger in St. Louis, you gotta come in. We tried, and he definitely was telling the truth. Can't beat it. Best burger in Missouri.
Route 66 went through the city of St. Louis on a number of different roads. Chippewa was one, Watson's another, which we're on currently right now. One of the kind of better known ones would be Highway 100 or Manchester, which is one of the early alignments leading people out of St. Louis into the rest of the state of Missouri. So a lot of people from the city would take 100 or Manchester out to the rivers or resorts, places like Times Beach, which is now the Route 66 State Park.
You have arrived.
I'm from Iowa,
Delaware,
Montana,
Kansas.
You may recall the stories about a small town on the Merrimack River near St. Louis called Times Beach. It became a major Superfund site when its dirt roads were contaminated with dioxin in the 1970s. The town was evacuated and bought out by the EPA in the 1980s. Eventually, the dioxin was removed and the land returned to the state. Long before it became a state park, Times Beach began as a gimmick to sell newspapers. In 1926, the St. Louis Times purchased Merrimack River bottomland and offered lots for $67.50 each if bought with a 6-month newspaper subscription. Named after the newspaper, the town was located on the path of the new Route 66 highway. Hundreds of lots sold quickly, and the town and its mile-long river frontage became a way to escape the summer heat for working-class families. Hungry travelers on Route 66 would stop in for catfish at the Bridgehead Inn. Later, the Roadhouse was called Steiny's Inn and then Galley West before it closed, and became the headquarters for the EPA's cleanup of Times Beach. After being the center of an environmental crisis and transformed into a public recreation area, Route 66 State Park is a place to enjoy nature and learn about the impactful stories of this well-loved river town and the famous road that ran through it.
And it was a one-owner car, and I'm second owner, and I did a lot of work on it and basically just got it good and drivable, and been driving it ever since.
Big Chief was built in 1929 as the Big Chief Highway Hotel. It was built by William Clay Pierce of the Pierce Pennant Oil Company. It was what a lot of people came to call like carriage courts. So we're on 5 acres, and the original build out was the building that we're in now. And then there was cabins. I think there was 62 of them that kind of went around the perimeter of the property. So yeah, there's the lore of some famous people like Al Capone, Babe Ruth. Those are the 2 most notable ones that I know of. So anybody that was traveling along, coming from Chicago, coming from California, wherever,